I'm going to have my cool Jordan soon next week. Töme, welcome to the Pals Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited this is happening.
Thank you, for real. Me too.
Yeah, it's good. I randomly just DM'd you maybe, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, about that.
And I was like, look, I started playing a show. I want to get you in on the podcast.
I appreciate that, for real. Thank
because
you.
I remember seeing your name, was it last year, 2 years ago with the Junos?
Yeah, 2021.
2020.
So last year.
Oh, yeah, last year.
Yeah.
I feel like time's just crazy now because of COVID. But,
I
I remember seeing your name and I was like, oh, she's playing in Toronto. Okay, we're getting her on. And then you responded. I was like, oh, God, this is great.
Yeah, literally.
So exciting.
Thank you.
Tell us about the show that you have going on.
Yeah, so it's this March 25th at the Phoenix Concert Theater. And it's primarily going to be the concert for my newest album that just came out, the Love Concert, L-O-V. Love Over Vanity. That's the title of the album.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go. So March 25th, be there.
Why? What inspired the name?
Realistically, like when I first made all the songs, they were made at different times within like the last 6 months. And we were like, okay, we want to make sure we're putting out like the strongest records. So by the time we piled everything up together, like 7 of the songs, there was this theme of like love behind it. And then like the other 3 were a lot more self-indulgent and confident and, a little conceited. So we're like, girl, like how can I emphasize love without it being like the theme of the projects? I just felt like a bit generic to just say love. So a good friend of mine, shout out Godflow, he literally was just like, okay, like let me think about this. By the end of the day, he was like, L-O-V, love over vanity. I'm like, yo, that's fire still.
That's actually really cool, right?
Kind of just what came about.
Yeah, awesome. I like that.
It's great.
Literally.
It's great.
So when you say they're about love, is it more like happy love, sad love? Is it, because there's like the Adele breakup album. There's the Adele I'm with my partner album. They're all about love, but
in different ways.
Different, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is definitely more on the happy side of love. Kind of, that feeling when you are in love, that feeling when you're yearning for it, when you're waiting for it, but all on a positive light and like lighthearted mood. Definitely on that.
I got you there.
Funny enough, I'm still single, but it's sort of like a manifestation towards what I'm gonna get.
I feel that. I'm gonna come with my own single album soon.
Yeah. Literally.
Probably wouldn't sell well, but based on your TikToks, who knows?
I get some views. Who knows? I'd get some
hard,
views.
To be honest.
It's great. Before we got on, just on that topic, not to pivot off you, but so you said you've seen Riggy's TikToks.
I have, yes.
Like they just pop into your For You page.
Yeah, they did. The first one, like one of them did, and then I was like, "He's from Canada, okay, facts," and I just like followed him.
Oh, you follow me?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Don't encourage him.
Single. How old are you? Sorry, I don't even know.
I'm 24.
Single in your 20s from Toronto. Boom. Almost a guarantee that you've seen my TikTok.
To be honest, yeah, it makes sense.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah,
they are awful. We make fun of them.
Yeah.
For them. Like, listen,
I feel like for me, like I don't take it seriously. Like when I look at them, I don't.
She gets it.
Yeah.
Do you post on TikTok a lot? Like, do you?
Not as often, to be honest. I think I've been the most frequent, like consistent with it in the last week.
Really?
To be frank with you, so. I'm not that good. I should be better at them, especially as an artist. But yeah, I'm terrible.
Is your management team like pushing you to do it, or any like people on your team?
Yeah, they do. They really do. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to like me. So primarily, especially because for the algorithm, you want the views. So you have to, aside from just promoting your music, you have to like, really follow the trends and so on and so forth. And you just never know what will fly on TikTok. So half the time I'm trying, but hey, yeah.
Do you know Tyler Shaw? Canadian musician. He does he was part of the that big
Lean on Me
song called Lean on Me, the song that came out during the pandemic, but he's also had a couple other songs. He's a Canadian artist. He actually did a song. Do you know it's like A B C D E F U blah blah blah?
Yeah.
So he did like the non fuck you version of it.
Oh really?
Where it's like A B C D E F I love you, something like that. He did like a romantic version of it.
Oh, that's cute. I did not.
No, but it went off. It's like it's like a massive song on TikTok now. I think he had like 1 million streams just from TikTok alone. And there's like 250,000 TikToks made with his sound.
Man, TikTok could literally be like the spark in any artist's career. It's
100%,
crazy. If you can just get
100%.
it right, it's crazy. Yeah.
But it's
Well,
like getting it right is the tough part.
That
right?
part, yeah.
On that note, then, since you don't post as much, or you don't, I guess, get as active as you feel that maybe their management wants and all that, or even you want, is there other platforms you use more so, or are you just not, like, you're not tapped into social media as much as you,
I mean, I think
most people, if you will.
right. I think for me, generally speaking, I'm probably the most engaged on Instagram. But, you know, like even Twitter, they've been like trying to push me to be more on Twitter as well, especially for like the Nigerian demographic, the Nigerian crowd. They're very, very heavy on Twitter. So
Really?
Twitter, TikTok. But for me personally, like my comfort zone would definitely be like Instagram. That's where I am the most.
And she checks her DMs.
Yeah, I do.
That's what we got her. We're friends.
I do. I do.
Well, you speaking of Nigeria, we were talking off air. You were just there.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. I mean, I went out there to push the album. Primarily speaking, I do have like a really strong fan base out there. So we push as much as we can. Obviously, my name is a lot stronger out there. So the momentum has been really good. I'm literally going back in April too. So I come in and out all the time. Yeah.
Do you play shows? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you play shows when you're out there?
Yeah. Like I was just there in December. And December is like a really, really busy period for Nigeria. Like a lot of different, like from American to Nigerian artists, like they're always in Nigeria around December. It's just a really show heavy time. So I was just there. We did like maybe like about 10 shows when I was just out there in December. And then I didn't do any this time around when I was just there. I was primarily just there to focus on like press media, release of the album. And then in Easter period, which is April, that's also a really busy period. So there's going to be a lot more shows then too.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Jordan,
apologies if it's,
did you go when you went?
No. I actually really wanted to.
Nigeria's fun.
Yeah. There's actually two kind of points. I guess on the first one, I wanted to go because I think Lagos is like one of the fastest growing like cities like in the world or something.
It is.
There's like 100 million people in Nigeria.
It's 200 million.
Something crazy. It's like one of the biggest. Yeah, it's one of the biggest.
200 million people in Nigeria.
It's something. Yeah, Danielle, can you confirm that? But it's one of the. I know it's
200 million or 2 million, one or the other. But there's
okay, massive difference. Well,
no, I think it's.
It's a really
Nigeria's huge.
In Nigeria alone,
it's huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
And
but it's not like it's not a big country physically.
No, it's not. It's not one of the biggest. It's just
isn't it just like the size of like?
But it's also coastal, right? It's on the
west side.
Coast.
Yeah, west coast.
Lagos is a big tech hub. It's probably the biggest tech hub of Africa. I would say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big like fintech companies starting there. To your question, no, I didn't go, but I did like a big 2017. I took a year off of work and like traveled the world. Just like went backpacking and went everywhere. I did a lot of Africa too.
Oh, nice.
But I was more like southern, and then I was supposed to go up to Ethiopia, but I can't. I just like skipped past it.
Okay.
I was kind of like
East Africa is beautiful too.
and I wanted to. I had an amazing time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of regret not doing. I want to do one day Angola, and I want to do Lagos as well.
Yeah, Lagos is definitely
Lagos. Sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Was it Lagos?
Lagos.
I say Lagos.
Lagos.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying Lagos. Sorry.
Just looking on a map, it's not even the size of Ontario.
No, it's it's super small, but it's just extremely popular. So no matter where you go, there are people.
Yeah.
Like there is people everywhere.
Everywhere. It's like you see pictures of it. It's crazy. It's just like not. Yeah, it's nuts. So many people all over the place. This might be a dumb question. How did you get big there? Are you like? Is that?
Oh well. Generally speaking, my father's Nigerian.
Okay.
So he was actually in show production. He's been very. What's the word I'm looking for? He's been connected within the industry for like the past 30 years because he was a big show producer and really helped a lot of the music heavyweights that we know now in Afrobeats really do some of their first international shows. So he was one of the pioneers for that, and he pivoted a lot of different things for the culture in the diaspora, generally speaking. So he generally always had a lot of these connections before I even decided to make music. And then it came to a point where I just kind of dove in and did some like Afro R&B sort of vibe, something very different while I was out here. And he said, okay, like you really have something here. We could really do something here. This is a pocket. And I'm like, yeah, let's see what we can do. So I was really able to reap from what he's sown over the last 30 years. And now because of obviously the connections that he has, the music I was making, it kind of made sense that we were able to push out there. And through like 3 years later now, we've been able to really create some momentum. And, I have a home back there. I have a lot of family out there. So it's not like a a new place for me.
Got
I've been
it.
there like my whole life.
Yeah, you have.
That's
roots
really
there.
cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, not a bad place to be developing a fan base when it's like it's almost the size of like the country alone is almost the size of like never mind Canada, it's bigger, but obviously like America. I mean, it's
Literally.
like 1/3, which is
Literally.
crazy to think
I
about.
had no idea.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 1/3. It's 2/3. Sorry, it's 200 million. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's almost the size of like America.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I think America's 330 million or something like
I
that.
thought there were 600.
Am I wrong? Anyways,
Whatever,
irrelevant.
yeah.
But that's crazy. Good for you. Very cool.
Thank you.
I
feel
you
like
prefer? Go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, do you prefer here? Like, would you like living wise here or there?
Okay, different reasons. I feel like I'd stay there, and there's different reasons I'd stay here.
Okay.
You know, for the convenience of living, generally speaking, I can't say that, you know. There's a lot of things that are quite practical in Nigeria too. It's cheaper in Nigeria, that's number one. You know, just like labor, a lot of things are a lot cheaper out there. However, you know, the practicality of a lot of things are kind of out of place. So like just the fact that like energy, light is scarce in a sense, so you still need to use like an engine if the light goes out, because there's like a company that controls light, so like you'll buy light, and like they'll just cut it off whenever they want, and then you
So
have
the
to use
light
it.
is like, is it run on different like
So
electricity than like the plugs and stuff, or like?
So it's very funny. So basically there's like a utility company, and you pay a certain amount to have a certain amount of light, of power, and then generally speaking, though, you still need to have like a generator for your house, because the utility company will just, even if you have money in your account, they'll just shut off electricity in certain regions at certain different times. And maybe it'll go off like maybe 5 times in a day, sometimes more. And you might not have light for like maybe 12 hours sometimes. So you need to have a generator.
Come
so
on.
you still
That's
have
crazy.
to, so you still have to pay like at least like about $100 for like 100 liters of diesel to be able to generate the power for the generator. So, you know, it can get expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive, the practicality of things, you know. Where I'm based there too, Lekki.
The town's called Lucky.
Lekki. There's different there's different towns. So that the city I'm in is Lekki. Like there's the island and the mainland in Lagos. So then the island is basically where you're gonna find a lot more of the wealthier people, and I guess people who do have money. Everything's more expensive on the island, but that's also where you have the most fun. That's where you're gonna find the biggest tech hubs, all the clubs, all the.
Would it be like
What's the word I'm looking
the
for?
Manhattan
kind of
thing? Yeah.
sort of thing. You know, just that's where everything is busy. That's where
It's the
everything is
happening
popping.
area.
And generally speaking, I feel like when it comes to the people, when it comes to music, for my career, being in Lagos right now does make the most sense. I do feel like I'm fulfilling a lot more things out there than I am here. However, in a sense, I'm also doing really good out here. You know, winning the Juno, being able to
I was
like,
gonna say,
yeah,
that's
like,
sick.
yeah. So
In
it's,
terms of Canadian music, that's the pinnacle, right?
you
Like,
know what I'm saying? So, I feel like there's, for different reasons, I like for here, like just the comfortability of things, it is easier. But then out there, it can also be very convenient, given if you know how to move around well and you understand the culture. I think for me, mainly, it would just be the fact that out here, I feel like I'm more understood person to person, whereas there, because I can't speak the language, I'm not fluent in it. And you know how Caribbeans have patois and then Nigerians have like pidgin. It's
Is
like,
that what it's called?
yeah, it's called pidgin. So like the Nigerian patois is called pidgin.
Well, I
Or
did
African.
not know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was patois.
No, it's called pidgin. It's like their own thing.
Wow. Okay.
So even that, like I know, anyone who speaks, I understand what they're saying, but then for me to say it, I'm just like, like I kind of fall apart and I don't know how to do it well. So, and that's where there's like this gap between me and them. There's a disconnect.
Yeah.
So I need to also be out there more so I can, you know, build that
yeah,
more.
yeah. Immerse
Is,
yourself.
is Pidgin? Is it like its own unique language, or is it like a dialect?
It's like broken English.
I was gonna ask that.
it's
So like
a
the way
mix
like
of their-
Afrikaans is like South African, it's kind of
Yes.
like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, literally.
But
So it's-
we wouldn't understand anything.
Yeah,
there,
well,
right?
I
Or is it a
mean-
little bit?
I mean, like they use English, but realistically, in between that, there's
Got
gonna
it.
be the 1-2 Yoruba word or the 1-2, just like African lingo that, like, if you're African, you'll know
Oh, gotcha.
what they're saying. But if you're not, then you might be like, "Can you repeat that?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
repeat
yeah.
that?" You might not get it. Same thing with like patois. Like sometimes you understand what they're saying, like the easy wagwan or don't know. But then when they really go deep into the
And if
patois,
they're
you're
talking
like,
fast,
"What?"
yeah.
Yeah, and they speak
Yeah,
fast
you're
and
not gonna
everything.
catch
So
it.
you're like, huh?
That's interesting. I didn't know that was the language. Actually, I had no idea.
Yeah, like the
I
actual
learned a
language
lot,
is Yoruba. Like there's different. Every tribe has their own language.
Yeah.
So Pidgin is the universal language that all of them can speak.
Okay.
Aside from English to understand one another. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, but is it a different dialect or is it an actual different language?
Okay. Well, dialect is primarily like the accent of it,
Yeah,
right?
and like there's certain sayings, right? Like I
yeah.
relate it back to like
So
Italian.
I guess dialect.
Because like the southern part of it, like you go there and I can understand Italian. If I go to the south in Italy, I don't understand anything. Like literally nothing.
It's a different.
Yeah, it's completely different. And same with the north. It's a very different dialect.
Yeah.
But it's all technically Italian. It's just it's more broken when you go more north or more south. So I guess it's kind of the same then.
Similarly, it's like the same thing in French, right? Because I'm fluent in French. Like I'm from Montreal, but then if I go to France,
It's okay.
I'm like, huh? Like what are you guys saying? I don't get it.
Danielle's fluent in French, aren't you?
Oh really? Oh, that's why. Yo,
Really?
like where are you from? Is it Montreal that you're from? Like, okay, but the francophone. So you're probably more influenced by Montreal than you are from France. Yes. Exactly. When you go to France, they look at us like, you're not French. Like they literally look at you like, y'all don't know French. And then you go to France and it's different. Their lingo is different.
Have you ever been to France?
Yeah, I have a few times, but very, very different.
George, did you go to France? Yeah, I did. Oh yeah,
I love France. Yeah. Paris is really nice.
Yeah, France is cool. But I haven't been enough places to know this, but and it's a common I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's like something generally people associate with France that anyone goes over that doesn't speak like Parisian French or whatever, like French, they look down upon it. They actually would prefer you speak English to them.
Are you serious?
Like I've seen people have told me stories. I haven't seen it firsthand because I don't speak French. I mean, I took it in school, but not enough to know it. They're more snooty about their like, or not more,
Paris is like more touristy.
So the dialect in south of France is different. Okay.
Good job.
Specifically.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
specifically.
The Quebecois.
We're kind of like the ghetto French, you know?
But it's interesting.
We really are.
But you know, like, okay, so if you tried to speak, like, even if you attempted to speak Pidgin, would they, like, would they be proud that you're trying? Or would they be like, okay,
they'd be proud.
Stop? Like,
they'd be proud, but then some are just like, just speak English. So, like,
yeah.
Like, they'll literally be stressed, like, unless they know that I'm trying. If they don't know me and I just try, they'll be like, Madam, please, I don't understand you. Please, can you just stick to English? I don't understand this when you're talking. I'll be like, oh my God. Like, yeah, like I can't listen.
I love when people turn on accents. I think I was with one of our friends and Danielle was with us on Sunday. We went to a little après-ski party with one of my friends, Sammy. She lives in London part-time or whatever. I don't know. But she has an English accent now.
Right.
British accent. And she'll just be speaking normal, and then one of her friends will FaceTime her, and boom, the accent comes on. I'm like,
I do that all the time.
Oh, I love how
all
people can do that.
Yeah, like if I'm in Nigeria, I don't speak like this. Like there'll be a little bit more of a Nigerian undertone in there, you know. And then if I'm in London, I just believe I'm from London. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just really believe it. I'm like,
so
you know
bad.
what? Like,
that's one of my biggest.
From Canada, like you'd say that I'm from London. That's what
do you put an accent? You know, put an English like a UK accent when you go to the UK. Do you? No, okay.
I try. Can you try your London accent? And I'm like, every time I try, it just doesn't go right. I don't know. When I'm there, I'm feel intimidated. But when I'm not there, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm from the ends. Okay.
Yeah. It's true though. I think like one of the things to me that fascinates me the most is language, and I wish I took it more seriously when I was younger. I'm lucky. I speak fluent Greek, not at the same level. I speak at like a high school level compared to like my English, if you will. I wish I took my French class more seriously. And if honestly, I think if I could have like a superpower that is, when I mean superpower, something that I can do now but more enhanced, is I wish I could speak more languages, and I wish I could like take it more seriously. Even just understanding them, I think is like super cool.
French is hard though. I'll give you that. French is really it is difficult. Like just to maintain, like you genuinely have to be speaking it consistently because the grammar in French is so complex. Like even me, like if I speak to someone from Quebec now fluently, they'll look at me like, girl, you lost it. You have lost it. Like, it's not the same.
It's funny you say that, George, because you're actually 100% like bang on.
It's the coolest
thing. Like looking back, I don't regret not memorizing the the chemical table.
You know what's so weird? I thought you were gonna say that. I was gonna say it.
Yeah, like, do I look back and say I don't remember what CH stands for in the periodical
chromium?
Table?
Right.
I don't know. I'm making that up.
Do I remember how do I remember how to do the math to measure the line of this graph or something? Like,
yeah, that part.
Carbon. What?
Carbon.
No, not CH isn't carbon.
Chlorophyll or
carbon CO. Anyways, no, but like I don't look back and say like, oh, I regret not doing that, or I regret not memorizing Hamlet or something. Like,
Yeah,
don't care about. In my Italian course, I regret not like taking it more serious. Even in university, like educationally speaking, I'm bilingual. Like,
right.
I did 4 years of university Italian. Like,
whoa.
I wrote papers in Italian.
Yeah, but you're bilingual. Wow. You can understand a little.
I can understand Italian and
functionally.
But yeah, the problem is once you leave. You just it's gone.
Yeah.
You stop practicing, and I started doing Duolingo or
same
a couple years ago. I haven't done it recently, but I did it a couple years ago before we were going to go to one of our Europe trips. And you start picking it up, and then you stop, and boom! Like I did one maybe about 6 months ago, and I started off the basics. And I'm like, I know this.
Yeah.
I've done this in school for 4 years,
Yeah.
6 years because I did 2 years of Italian in high school. And I still can't do it. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
But yeah, George, that's a.
But you have to learn it.
True,
So I heard this because I spoke. So I was born here, but my parents spoke Greek to me like regularly. Like I have baby videos. They're just talking to me in Greek,
Wow.
even though they speak. My mom's born here. My dad was born there, but they both speak fluent English. But I guess they wanted to teach me Greek.
Yeah.
So until I was about 5, I only spoke Greek, not English. So even now, like I don't think I can pick up. I mean, I think I can probably at my age pick it up easier than someone else my age doesn't speak languages. I guess that makes sense. Because like I'm learning Italian now, and I see the words and I can say them. Like I can kind of sound like the proper way.
Yeah.
I don't sound like a real foreigner, I guess. But anyways, not about me. I wish I took more languages seriously when I was
on
younger.
that one last point about languages before we pivot off. I actually read somewhere that if you are bilingual, it's easier to become trilingual than it is if you're just one language trying to become bilingual, because the way your brain processes languages is a lot easier the third time than it is the second time.
That makes sense.
I don't know if I told a story on the podcast about why I don't speak Italian like fluently. No. So my dad, his parents came here from Italy. My dad failed grade 1 because he couldn't speak English, because came from Italian parents. They only spoke Italian in the home. So when he went to grade 1, didn't speak much English. Plus, he was also just a shit disturber. So he failed grade 1. So when me and my brother were born, my mom and dad, they communicated in Italian because my mom was from Brazil.
Right.
They communicated in Italian, and they refused to teach me and my brother Italian or speak Italian at home because my dad's like, no, I don't want them to like grow up speaking English second language. I want them to speak English first language. Now, not only do I not speak proper English, I don't speak a second language either. So, Dad, you screwed me here, Dad. Mom, show this to Dad. That's it.
Yeah, I think, like, funny enough that you say that, like, every time in Nigeria, they're like, how come you don't know Yoruba? And I'll just be looking at my dad like, yeah, Dad, how come I don't know Yoruba? Like, because I'm like, why? Like, my mom was so keen on making sure we knew French. And I went to a full French school up until I graduated high school. But then, like, but for some reason, the Yoruba never really came through, and now it's kind of like I have to start from fresh, and like watch the movies and listen to the music and like literally just dive deep in it. But when I'm here, it's a little harder.
Probably the best way to do it though, like just being around it all the time, hearing it.
Yes, that's why that's the reason why I feel like I need to stay there a little longer, just for where we're going with the music right now too. But, hey,
well, if you're going back too as often as you're going back and all that, I'm sure like it just. Gradually, it'll slowly like
it will. Yeah,
that's all it is, right?
It has already actually. There's a 1-2 word.
How many times do you go a year? Well, I guess prior to COVID.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Funny enough, before 2019, like I guess like we were only going like every 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So before then, the last time I had gone was like 5 years before 2019.
So you'd only really been like a handful of times.
Yeah, really and truly. And then because of the music, it kind of was just giving us a reason to be out there because generally speaking, Nigeria is a beautiful place, but there's a reason why so many of us also left, to kind of make a new life for our children and everything outside of it. So it's like, unless there's a reason for you to go back, you don't go back as often. So we weren't there as often. And then now it was like, for the music, for how we're trying to connect, like I really need to be out there. Then COVID happened. So I had only gone once in 2019. Then since 2021, I've been there like 3 times, and now I'm going back like for the 4th time. So now it's a lot more.
Now you're back in the rhythm. Yeah,
and there's definitely like more demand for it, generally speaking. But yeah,
that's awesome. That's very cool. I have one last random question about the language thing. I was waiting to ask it. Do you know what they call someone who speaks like is multilingual? Like you speak a lot of languages.
Multilingual?
No, I got another word for it.
Wait, give me a hint.
I don't know if you'll get it if you don't know. It's pretty. It actually starts with the Greek word for many, but you won't get it.
No, I don't know.
I have no idea.
A polyglot.
A polyglot.
Oh, yeah, no chance I would have gotten that shit. The reason that the reason it's easy for me to remember is
that was a word.
Poly means like poly means a lot in Greek, and glot is like glossa means many tongues.
Oh.
You learned something new today, folks.
Polyglot.
Fun fact on the
I don't know why it clicked in my head. I always think it's the weirdest word. Anyways, back on the important stuff.
Yeah, let's go. We'll pivot back to music a bit. I wanted to ask. So you said your dad was always kind of in the entertainment industry, kind of well connected. But you said that you didn't know you were going to do music when you were younger.
No. I always knew I was going to make music.
Oh, okay. But
I didn't know that I was going to pivot into kind of infusing Afro beats into my sound. Because like I was writing songs since I was like 8 years old. Like I literally was just writing. And then by the time I was 10, I got a guitar, like acoustic guitar. So I started composing songs. Yeah, a little bit. But then at one point I did put my guitar down for a few years, and I was focused more on studio sound. So I feel like now I'm still at this intermediate level where I should be way better than I am by now. But yeah, we're kind of like restarting with the guitar. But anyways,
okay, I'm sorry, restarting languages, restarting
you
guitar.
know, everything's kind of a restart for me. But
it's a new year. We'll start again in 2023.
Hello. But yeah, I mean, I was always making music, and the sound really shifted because funny enough, you know, as a woman in this game, it's a little, it's harder to kind of trust people. And there wasn't too many women that I knew of that were managing artists or were kind of even diving into playing that role in the industry. So there was only primarily men. And for me, like, I seen it in different ways, like just different experiences, different women, different stories. So I wasn't so quick to want just any manager. And I knew that my dad was very well versed, and I knew that he knew people, and he always told me how people came to him wanting him to manage their artists. So I guess like he was sort of like my first choice. And I remember like I would show him the music I was making, which had nothing to do with Afrobeats. And I would just, you know, show him, and he's like, yeah, it's nice, but it's not marketable. And he just kind of like disregard it all the time. And I'm like, okay, all right then. He's like,
go back to my room.
Yeah. He's like, you got work to do, but it's fine. I'm like, okay. So, you know, it wasn't just like, he was like, you make music, let's do this since you're my daughter. Like I really had to earn his respect, generally speaking, just on that level. And yeah, like 2018 came around, we were running a whole restaurant and lounge out here in Toronto because he created a brand called, he founded a brand called Kiza, and it's primarily just a Pan-African brand. And so it was really connecting all of Africa under one roof. So it started with the restaurant, and it was a restaurant and lounge that has been there in Dubai for like the last, we're going on 10 years. Wow. And yeah, and it's still one of the biggest hubs for a lot of musicians, especially within the Afrobeat scene. But even people who, once you hear and go to Kiza in in Dubai, it's an experience like no other. And it's the only fine dining Pan-African cuisine you'll find literally anywhere in the world. And it's in Dubai. And he founded that. And that was a really, really big pedestal for him. And it really allowed him to create this connection between Nigeria, Africa, and the diaspora. So it became a whole brand, and it dove into entertainment and music as well. So from there, we opened one up in 2018 in Toronto. And obviously the culture is very different. Like Dubai is kind of known for tourists, for fine dining, for that like luxury lifestyle. So it made a lot of sense in Dubai. However, Toronto was a lot more of a casual city, in my personal opinion. I feel like if you haven't sort of established yourself for a while, it's kind of hard to do so. And the way we wanted to stick to the brand that's already been created, we found it quite difficult. And I became like the marketing executive with no experience in marketing. Like I had no idea. And I'm the one that had to bring the money in. I'm like, oh, geez, this is tough. Okay. And then, you know, a year went by. We really tried our best. That's what introduced me to a lot of the Nigerian community, actually, because growing up, I wasn't around any of them. Like I was in a full French school, French Africans, Arabics, Canadians. Like that's what I was surrounded by my whole life. Caribbeans. So 2018 is when I was really introduced to that Nigerian African community in the city. That's what really made me kind of explore the sound more. And, you know, I started working with Nigerian producers, African producers who were trying to bring what they know from back home here and change it. And I had that sound from here. So we kind of came together, and that's what created the whole Afrofusion that I make now. It was sort of like through Keys Up.
It's kind of like a life journey, right? Like,
it is. My whole story is a journey.
I love that.
Yeah,
That is very cool.
much so.
It's actually crazy because they say, obviously, like the best music comes from like the heart and the soul and like things that you experience and things that you actually feel.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's exactly what this story was. It's something that your whole life kind of shaped you. You start off with the guitar, writing, composing, and it's like your life experiences helped you evolve into who you are today and the music you're producing and making.
Literally. And I feel like it keeps growing because, you know, obviously that soul, like where my heart really resides, and I guess what I know best is that R&B soul. That's what I grew up doing. That's what I grew up just knowing how to write well and do well. So even diving into Afro beats at first, Afrofusion, I was really just trying to bring what I know from here and fuse it with the African beats, literally with the Afro beats, and kind of create that the serenity between the two. However, I feel like now, because we're really diving more into the culture and getting there is more of that pressure to connect with them. You have to change your lingo a bit. You gotta kind of dive. You gotta get more into the Afro beats culture, and that's where I feel like this is almost a whole new journey for me. Yeah. In a sense that it's like, this is me. This is who I am. Yes. But at the same time, I almost feel like, whoa, like it's a whole new experience. Is it me? It's very questionable in a sense. And I feel like, as I'm growing, it's something I get a lot in like interviews and everything like that. Like, okay, is this really where you plan to be? Because people are like, I hear it, but is it as authentic? There's a whole lot of question behind it. And even for me, I feel like I'm still growing to understand it myself. But all I know is that I can dive into diversity and do it well. So that's my little niche. That's where I kind of keep cool. my exclusivity.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to ask, sorry. When did you kind of realize that you had something? You know, like what was your aha moment or the moment that you realized, hey, this is it. Like I got this.
I think it was really 2018. I think it was 2018. Because before I was always making music, but I wasn't sure of it. I wasn't sure of myself. I wasn't confident in myself. I wasn't even investing in the quality of it. I wasn't sure. And then when I really started making that new music, I mean, like the first project I ever released, like that was just by myself. Like there wasn't really anyone, you know, helping me. I was just working, and any money I had, I went straight to the studio. I just started writing, and I started creating what I thought to be the best quality music there ever was. And then,
what did Dad think about that music?
I think he was just proud of the fact that it's clear that with nobody around me, I want this for myself. Yeah, okay. You know, and that I think is what made him even want to manage me in the first place, because he was like, you're serious about this. So you could just hear it as well, that there's clearly more quality here than there was in the works I was doing before. And I think for me, I was like, yeah, this is it. Because before it was a lot more sultry, a lot more mellow. And I guess it was a different stage in my life too. I was more on the mellow side and chilling. And I was just kind of going with life and more on my hippie vibes, to be honest with you. And you could hear it in the music. And then by 2018, there was a big growth of maturity when I started working with my dad for that restaurant, because it was a whole new level of growth as a person that I had to become. And also going to school for acting, I had just found myself differently, generally speaking. And by the time I was making that new music, I was like, now this feels good. I feel like I could perform this. I feel confident to go on stage and sing this and be able to connect with people more so than before. And I think that's when I really knew, like, no, I'm a star, like from that point on. Yeah.
Good for you. 2018 then, eh?
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying it since I was 5. And the main reason I say this is because there was a movie, I don't know if you guys know Superstar, like featuring Molly Shannon. No. She's like, I'm a superstar. And she was like, do you know that movie?
The hands in the armpits or whatever?
My God. Oh my God. I don't even know.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Danielle knows it for sure. Danielle.
Yeah. I freaking love that movie.
That's the only reason I know the movie.
Yo, I was so young, and that was the movie that made me feel like I'm gonna be a star, because she had no talent. It's not like it's not like she was the greatest.
5 years old. I don't know if I have talent, but I'm gonna be a star.
But that's it. She just believed in herself so much, and from that movie, like there on, I was like, no, I'm a superstar, and everyone was like, so what's your plan B? I'm like, there is no plan B, and I've been saying that since I was so young. But I think by 2018 is when I said, no, I'm ready for this now. I'm understanding myself more. I see where I can go. I can see the vision I've always dreamt of, you know? I always knew I was a star, but now I really started to feel it.
Do you manifest?
Funny enough.
That's your saying, eh? Funny enough. I got a whole bunch of sayings, but I was like, this is like the 4th time you said it. I love it.
Okay.
I'm that person. I'm like,
you pick up on those things, yeah.
Mine is nice. I say the word nice a lot.
I feel like it depends on my days.
Nice for whatever.
I said it today.
Nice.
Everything's nice. My life's just nice. Okay, funny enough.
Okay, oddly enough, I feel like, I manifest a lot, and I don't even realize that I'm doing it. That's the thing that I've noticed. And sometimes, which is really, really creepy, I'll write out songs about what I know is going to, like, I'll write out things that don't necessarily relate to what I'm going through. Like a lot of songs I've written about were just stories. I really am an actor. I am a storyteller. I feel like they go hand in hand with each other for me. And when I'm writing, I'm usually writing sometimes in just the point of view of a character, the point of view of someone else's story, a story I've heard, and I'll write out of that. And next thing I'll know, then it relates to me. After I've written it, after I've recorded it, next thing you know, then something like that will happen to me. But it didn't happen to me before I wrote it. So it's almost like I manifest things, like I foreshadow my own future in weird ways. Yeah, I'm a fortune teller. That's kind of my thing. But
Wait, I want to ask something on that topic.
Yeah.
This is completely separate but kind of related.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a psychic?
No, I'm kind of nervous. I've always been so curious.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, do I want to know my future? I'll just leave it to God. Like, I don't know.
Well, do you believe that? Do you think they can actually?
I definitely believe that. Like, there is some truth to what they say, for sure. Like, if I went to one, I feel like, like this probably will happen. But at the same time, I almost don't want to know what my future lies. Like, I kind of want to see it happen. It scares me to know what my future could be. In a good and bad way. In a good and bad way. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's creepy.
You don't want to. Yeah. Obviously, like, I agree with you. You want to kind of see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'd want to know what's gonna happen.
You
just
know?
let it, because it takes. You want to just whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yeah. It's very. It's
Yeah.
very spiritual. Yeah. It can be very spiritual.
I think you're gonna ask about. Do you believe in something else?
No,
Okay.
I was going to say,
So let
George,
me ask
same
you
question to you.
Okay.
Oh,
Have you ever been to a psychic?
I have not. No, and I don't.
Yeah. Do you plan to? Like, do you want?
No,
do
I
you
don't
wanna
think
know?
I believe in it. But I had friends. Like, I have a really good friend
Yeah, I have a couple friends
who she went and she said, like, she told me a story, and I was like, oh, like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's creepy, man.
Yeah, she's
From
told
what
me
I've
like
heard.
this like, and it makes sense. I was like, oh, that's kind of like, how the hell would they know that?
Yeah.
On the other hand, like, I think a lot of it is like, I think the overwhelming majority is smoke and mirrors. I think there maybe there is the outlier that has some gift. I don't know.
Yeah, but even a blind squirrel gets a nut every now and then.
That's true.
If I see 20 people and I say, hey, you're going to marry someone named Rebecca, one dude is going to marry a Rebecca, and then I'm going to be a fucking fortune teller.
It's true.
Give me a
It's true.
break.
So you don't believe in it?
No, I don't.
And have you ever been?
Okay.
So I've never been. I do want to go because... So I'll give you my full story. I do want to go because I do think it's interesting.
Hey, Rick, it's this question.
I don't
I'll give
believe
you
in
my
it,
full
but I
story.
do want to go.
No, because here's why
here's
I don't believe in it. It's honestly because social media and the whole fucking everybody on astronomy
Astrology
and
is
like
a big thing.
astrology.
Yeah,
I think it's all fucking fugazi, and I just think
that word so much.
I think it's all fugazi because you know why? I posted something on I think it was on TikTok like a year ago, like at the beginning of COVID, and someone's like, oh, you're such a Capricorn. And I was like,
Oh, you're a Capricorn?
no, I was like, I'm actually a Scorpio. They're like, oh, you're totally a Scorpio. I'm like, bitch, I'm actually a Virgo. That's what's up. And ever since then,
that is funny.
Ever since
That's
then,
it,
I was
so.
like, all right, yo, astrology out, man. Talk to me about the sun and the moons tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh my
But
God.
now, actually, a lot of my TikToks now, everyone's commenting, give me your birth sign, give me your this.
Yeah.
And there's that meme where it's like, Mom, what time was I born? It's like, run, son.
Literally. No, like,
I best as I did that to my mom once. I had a date in COVID. I'm not gonna say her name, but she might know. So you never know. Yeah. So fuck it. Her name's Christina.
Rick, you can't do that.
You know how many Christinas I've gone on dates with? Anyways, she
Crazy.
asked me, like, she's big
It's
into
kinda
astrology, and she's
Yeah.
like, she goes, yeah, like the sun and the moon and the time you're born and blah blah blah. Like, do you remember if it's a full moon? I was like,
that's a lot.
I'm like, all right. I was drinking. I'm like, Mom, what time was I born? She's like, you're born 11 o'clock, like Thursday night or whatever. I was like,
Right.
all right, girl, I'm born whatever 11 o'clock Thursday
So she
night.
went and told you your moon.
So
your
she pulled up
rising,
my
your
whole
sun.
Yeah.
boom,
The
she
whole
did that.
chart, yeah.
And I was like, and she said like she's reading some like website. I'm like, that's the most generic shit ever. Like, oh, you're gonna face struggles in your life, but you're gonna overcome them with adversity. I was like, what?
Yo, it's
that
so
can apply
crazy.
to anybody in anything.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh, today's gonna be a tough day, but you know what? You're gonna get through it. Yeah, of course I'm gonna get through it, else I won't be here tomorrow. Like,
that's
anyways,
a crazy
that was,
thing.
that's
That was my
story.
next question. Though I wanted to ask:
Yeah.
Do you follow astrology? Believe in it?
You know what fun? Like,
And don't worry, don't listen to Ray. You have your own opinion on it. Don't worry.
Don't
you know,
listen to me.
you know, it's crazy because like since high school, like one of my close ex-best, she's my ex-best friend. Yeah. I say ex-best friend because like sometimes I feel like friendships are like they're deep. When you break up with a friend, it can be way deeper than like any boyfriend you've ever had. Like when that friendship was deep, like that was your sister. So I call her my ex-best friend. She was really, really into astrology, like deep into it. Like she wasn't really good in school, but she was really good in astrology. I'll give her that much.
What was her, no, we're not gonna do that. Was it Christina?
Rick's
No.
kinda funny today.
I'm funny today.
Funny
I had a
today.
funny joke earlier.
That's
Right? You like
funny.
that?
Rick's funny.
But I do believe in the similarities that certain signs have. Like as a Scorpio, I'll see another Scorpio and I could be like, yeah, okay, that's a similar trait that I feel like I see in a lot of you guys, or even in myself as a Virgo. But I don't go deep into the futures, like what it means to you and how it like relates to your everyday life, and you're going to be this way because you're this sign. I don't like to look at life that way because I feel like you're limiting yourself in so many ways. I think it's kind of creepy. And, you know, even my best friend now, like she's really into it and like all kudos to her. But I always just tell her, I'm like, don't be so stuck in this that you're missing the point of it all. Because I feel like when you get too focused on these signs, like I think you're literally only seeing this. You're not actually just seeing life for what it is. Like, yeah, okay, cool. You're like this sign. Okay, yeah, the moon is in full moon today, and whatever we're in
High
Venus
tide.
or whatever the case. Yeah, like all these different things. But I'm like, man, just live your life. Don't be so there's just ignorance is bliss. Like that saying is there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like there's similarities, but don't make it your whole life. That's where I feel like you really start to lose yourself and start to have expectations you won't receive. And then when what you read is not what's going on, and you're all lost in the sauce, you don't know what to do. And it's like, yo, dude, how about you put it down for a second? Just live life, you know?
It's true.
God is here.
Very good
I believe in
point.
God. God is here.
100%.
You're good. Yeah.
It's one of the things that I'm just like, I was thinking about as you're talking is and I'm not saying this like that I don't think it's like true. I don't know any, like no guys ever said to me, oh, what's your sign?
No,
It's
it is
like if there are guys out there, I'm
female
actually
different thing.
asking like if there are guys out there who follow it, then like let us know.
Start being that guy.
But like
I do know
I
some
don't know
guys.
any that like I personally
I do know some guys.
George, what are you, a
However-
Capricorn?
Taurus.
Oh, you're
You're
so a
Taurus.
Taurus.
Sorry, I'm actually a Taurus, and I honestly like I will say I'm fucking stubborn, but
I mean,
what guy isn't
see?
stubborn?
Yeah, see, I'm a bit
No.
stubborn, and I'm a Virgo. Like
Rick-
DB's a
You're actually a Virgo?
I'm actually
I'm a Virgo too.
Our buddy DB's also stubborn, and he's a Scorpion. Scorpio.
Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Whatever, man.
No, yeah, I'm a Virgo too. I feel like some things that,
Virgos.
yeah, Virgo gang. But like
When's your
something.
birthday?
September 17th.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say 7.
Oh wait, is
What's yours?
6.
that my sister's birthday?
Crazy. 17th. I don't mean many September 17th. You know.
How do you not know your sister's birthday?
She's the 17th. It's her birthday. I thought
That's
7th.
so
My
crazy.
grandmother, my sister, and my brother, all and her husband are born the same month.
Jeez,
Mark's
bunch of Virgos.
September 6th.
Yeah. Mark's the same birthday as me.
Same as you. My sister is the 17th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't meet many September 17th, to be honest.
Yeah.
I had a conversation like this with a friend's girlfriend maybe a month ago, and she was like, "Oh, what are you?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Virgo, whatever." She's like, "When's your birthday?" I'm like, "September 6th." She was born September 6th, 1990. How crazy is that?
That's so
So the
crazy,
same day?
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, 1991. My buddy Devin's girlfriend, this girl D. She works at Marble. Shout out D and Devin, I guess. Yeah.
There's name dropping everybody.
Yeah, man. I want them to hear it, man. If you guys are listening, I love you.
Vibes.
Where were we? I don't even remember.
I know, right?
We're on horoscopes,
Where do we go
astrology, pivot. I don't know. We're all
I'm gonna be
whatever,
that, like,
whatever.
you don't know many men who I do
Yeah.
know a couple men who are like, but not as deep as women. I just genuinely
They
feel
ask
like
your
it's
sign,
a
not
very
your birth.
womanly thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah.
I don't think I could. I don't.
I'm gonna start wearing my
I couldn't even tell you what
birthstone around.
I know my girlfriend's birthday, but I don't know what she is.
Eh.
Is that?
Oh, she's so a Cancer.
I can't lie.
okay.
Like my mom's a Cancer. I would say Cancers are very emotional, man.
Oh, that
Cancers
yeah,
are emotional.
That's
accurate.
it.
Yeah. No, it's true though. Like almost every
kidding,
Cancer
I'm
I've ever
kidding.
met, like that's a similar trait. They're
Uh-huh,
emotional.
you
But do you think that you see certain traits more because you know what they are? What's the
No.
You're like it's a bias where you like.
yeah, but what's the
confirmation bias?
No, it's not confirmation bias. It's when you see more in something because you think that.
Because
Oh,
I
it's
think
like
that.
the beetle, the punch buggy beetle effect.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah, I forgot the name of it.
Whatever.
Can
Anyways,
you look it up?
if you think
Is it the Mandela?
So if-
Not the Mandela.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
no.
That's the realities. You see, you remember things
Yeah, yeah.
differently.
Okay.
anyways, but like if I know that a Taurus is stubborn and I meet a Taurus and I see something that they do and I'm like, oh, it's kind of stubborn, not so a freaking Taurus. Like,
No, like that's the thing. I feel like I'm not so quick to be like, oh yeah, it's such a Taurus thing. Like I'll let it brew for a bit before
Yeah.
like I'll be like, okay, yeah, there's. But to be honest, I see similarities, man. I do.
So you believe?
I
You
do.
believe?
Yeah, Virgo men are crazy. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe. Fuck. who
I
knows?
would venture to guess most of Ricky's exes would be like, true.
Mark Corsetti, not crazy.
It's very like, yeah.
No.
very low-key.
No, wait, hold on. Wait, from what I did. Sorry.
When was this?
I'm
When
just
was
gonna
it?
say this.
Rising and moon or whatever. Then you got to determine that.
Because
Yeah,
the
that's
years
true.
could change.
What time
right?
were you
True.
born?
I was born at 11 p.m.
Maybe he was 11 a.m.
Or maybe it's
Opposite.
because the year. Maybe the years.
Yeah.
Maybe I was an odd year.
Yeah. Maybe that's
Because
why.
we were the year of the cat or something.
Yeah.
Maybe he was the year of the bull, so he got the whatever energy.
crying.
I don't know.
You know it's sorry, this is so random. On that,
That's
it was,
the best part about this podcast.
This year was Chinese New Year was when? It was
Isn't this the year of the rat?
January,
The lunar?
the year of the rat, I think.
Year of the rat.
But I
Or
didn't know
tiger.
this.
Or lion.
Was it Tiger?
No.
Man,
I
I
think
don't
it's the
follow
rat,
that
I
enough.
think.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Continue your point.
We have a guy, there's a Chinese guy at our office. Great guy. He's been with us for so long. Tiger. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, guys. Not rat. Tiger. But anyways, like the day before Chinese New Year, I don't know if we're in this podcast or somewhere, and I heard that like you're supposed to get a haircut before the year changes because they didn't know it's like money and wealth and prosperity, whatever. So I forgot it was like, Chinese New Year, whatever. I walk in the house today. I walk by his desk. I like stop. I back up. I was like, get a haircut. I was like, oh, happy Chinese New Year. And he's like, thanks. He's like, how'd you know? I was like, you got a haircut. He's
My
like,
man
yeah.
gets a haircut once a year.
No. I don't know why.
That's so crazy.
It just clicked in my head. But then I was talking to him about it. You're supposed to get your haircut and like not wash your hair that day or something. I guess all I'm thinking about this is because of like astrology, superstition,
yeah.
whatever. I find that stuff so interesting. Like especially
It
people who
is
are like
interesting.
overly superstitious. Are you superstitious?
I was just gonna ask
That reaction.
No, I'm not that. I'm not that
Really?
superstitious. No, I'm not too superstitious. To be
I
Your
honest.
reaction
would
would've
have
made me
bet
feel
money
like-
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, really?
You're like, oh.
I would have been. She's superstitious. She wears the same pants to every show or
nah,
something.
bro, that's creepy.
No,
Like, I
no
don't do
superstitions at all. Before shows,
Not
before
really.
new
That's good.
release, new nothing.
Nah, not really. Not really.
Wow.
I like
You're
it's-
definitely not a Virgo then.
I'm super Virgo. Okay. Excuse me, I'm like the Beyonce. She's a Virgo too.
So not superstitious?
No, not really, man. To be honest, like, no, I don't have any. No, I'm not.
Nothing,
I'm
eh?
thinking about it.
Okay.
Like, no. Like,
What
I'm
about like
not.
pre-show or pre-release things that you do?
Jitters. You know, it's funny. Now I like catch myself saying it all the time. But to be frank with you, I feel like generally speaking now more than ever, I feel like this closer connection to God. Okay. So like before like any release or especially before any show, I just like pray to him. And I don't pray in like, a traditional way. I'm just like, yo, God, like, what's up, man? And I'll just talk. I literally just talk to him. Like, I just feel like he's there and I'm just talking to him. I don't feel like there's any specific religious way I got to do it. I'm just like, thank you for everything you've given me. Please give me the strength to keep doing this. Like, thank you for everything. Like, I just talk to him. But like, that's probably all I do.
I used to do that before every hockey game.
Yeah.
I started when I was about 13. So I was a goalie. I'd get to my net. I'd hit both posts. I'd do it Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And I would just pray that everybody has fun, everybody stays safe, and everybody performs to the best of their abilities. I would say the three things. And then I'd do Father, Son, and I'd say to St. Michael, the Archangel, and to the Lady of Victory or something. There's another like.
I think it's great. It's so funny. You said, "Hope everyone has fun." Like a little kid, because
in the day, look, like when I was younger, I wanted to go somewhere. Then I realized I wasn't going anywhere in sports. So it's like we're all here to have fun at the end of the day. Like that's what sports, like growing up, is about. Then it's like, so have fun. Obviously, you want to be safe, but then it's like, hey, I want to perform to the best of my best. But not even just me. I want everybody to perform to their best. If we get beat because the team is just better than us, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I got no problem. If I play to the best of my abilities and we lose, which happened all the time, I'm good with that. There's people just better than me out there.
Yeah.
But then there's days where it's like, I let us shit go. I'm like, man, what happened on that one? God, you fucking screwed me on that one. Hits the post and goes in instead of going down. I'm like, come on, man. I need that one.
It's interesting. I'm not like I've gone to church like for like I never went like every Sunday, but I would go for Easter or Christmas, all the.
I haven't been to church in a long time.
But I haven't gone. Same. I haven't gone in a long time. Even as I got older, I wouldn't go for Easter anymore. I just like I'm not going to go to midnight mass. It's so late.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like I'm not by any means like atheist. I believe something. I don't know what, but there's something, right? Like I just never God, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not to get all spiritual and deep, but like I just didn't put a lot of time and thought into it.
I feel you.
And it's weird. Like as I've gotten older, and especially lately, I actually picked up. I have a book which is like a Hindu book, the Bhagavad Gita. It's like
what's it called?
Is it by Sadhguru?
Maybe.
Oh my God, he's crazy.
No.
I love him.
Maybe no. Maybe.
Sadhguru.
You look it up. It's translated the Bhagavad Gita, G-I-T-A. It's an old scripture. There's like the three. There's the Upanishads, the Vedas, and the Bhagavad Gita. They're all old Hindu scriptures. I think they're just, from what I gather, could butcher it, but they're based on like similar, I guess, the equivalent of a Bible or the Quran.
Right.
And it's weird. I had it on my shelf for a long time. Never picked it up. And I grabbed it the other day and I was like, let me read this a bit and see what's going on here. And it's really interesting. And it's like it's on a story format, like the old way things are. It tells you like, proper principles, how to carry your life, whatever. Yeah. And it's translated by a guy who I think he's from the UK, but he's Indian, and he translates it to the best of his ability. And it's really interesting. So I'm reading this and I was like, oh, okay, like this is pretty cool how they explain it in the stories back in the day. And then I'm starting to think about, like, as I'm reading the Bible and the Quran.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think, oh, it's really fascinating how like everyone believes in something, but everyone's has a different take on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really know I'm going to this point, but I find it so interesting. And now that I read this, now I've kind of had this like newfound, not going to be all like born again Christian, all this stuff.
Right.
Nothing against that. Now I'm starting to find it more fascinating for some reason.
Yeah.
As I get older.
I feel like, as we get older and more things happen to us, it almost gets to a point like, what is your purpose in this world?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, if you're here, then you're not here by your own due diligence. You didn't give yourself birth.
Yeah.
Like it almost gets to a point like, why are you here? I feel like it can get so deep. It could also be just so simple with the fact that like we are literally like a small speck in like galaxies.
A great way to put it.
Galaxies. So it's like if your own personal purpose is just to be what it is to you, like let that be that and believe in what you want to believe in. Because it even goes down to astrology. Majority of these astrologers don't necessarily like they might believe in the God, but definitely like basically as a Christian believes in the 10 Commandments and the Word of God. It's the same when an astrologer looks at that as their purpose in this world. I feel like you just believe in something to keep going.
For sure.
And I feel like as you get older and you realize just how materialistic this world can really be, it almost gets to a point where you do want to be a little bit more spiritual. Just something in your psyche is telling you like there's more here than this physical realm.
That's what's interesting. But I think what you said was what I really like find interesting is like, it could be so deep and all this stuff, but it could be so simple. And
So
that's what's
simple.
interesting, right? If you really think into something so like deep and really analyze, you're like, oh wow, this is so crazy, so much going on.
There's too much.
But if you step back, it's like, oh, that's just like you can look at it from like a black and white perspective of like a very like simple explanation to everything. I don't know. I just find it like to that point, there's so much, and like there's science, which is like, physics, for example, is like undisputable. You can prove a theory, and it can be like, this is a theory, like it's undisputable. The gravity, whatever. But then you have stuff like the 10 Commandments, and it's something that's to the test of time. And it's like, oh, if you do these things, you'll typically live like a happier life, or you won't get into trouble and stuff. And I don't know, it's just really fascinating lately, and I don't know, maybe we should get more spiritual lately as we get older. But I just thought that was something that was interesting. That's
beautiful. I think it's so different for everybody, really and truly. And, going back to your point, like everyone kind of believes in something. I saw this TikTok by this girl called China. She's like this big like Disney star. And she said something, and I don't even know if it was her. I also saw it on a quote, like on Google, but I don't really know if it was her. But the meaning is actually kind of cool, and it was just a sense of, if a painting was made by a painter, and a building was made by a builder, then our creation was made by a creator. Like, that's how I see it. And I once I saw that, I was like, yo, that's facts. That's facts.
That's pretty interesting.
That's pretty deep. Like, when you look at it that way, everything comes from something. Something that science was never able to solve either, like how we really got here. Even that asteroid came from where? From where, sir? Yeah.
That's what's really interesting too. Like, we're really getting down to the rabbit hole here, but that's what's crazy. Like, that's one thing that like TikTok, I'll see. Like, there's not many things that will like blow my mind. Like, you see those random people that like come up with like crazy facts. And you're like, but then you see one on like space. And it'll like, be like, this is where you are. And it zooms out, zooms out, zooms out. Zooms
yeah,
out.
that one's so crazy. We're just like a speck of trillions and trillions of galaxies.
I don't know.
We're nothing.
Just one thing. I'm just going to say, the other thing too is, one of the things I've realized as I get older is, naturally, I don't know, myself, I'm not speaking for everyone, but, being a guy, whatever, we have some egos and all this stuff. You think, your life is important, or, I mean, any human probably thinks your life's important. You want to have a purpose and feel significant. But then you step back and you see like how really insignificant you as a person are. You're like, why did I take myself that serious? Let's chill
Literally,
out. Like,
ignorance is bliss, man.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta like. Go ahead.
No, finish your point.
Yeah, no. That's all I was gonna say. Is like, when you see those things as well, that when it zooms out and you see how big the world is, you think about Lagos, there's 200 million people, and there's 3 of us here. Like, think about how many people think that their life is the bigger problem, or this is going on.
I'm telling you.
You get in a fight with your brother about something, or your boss, and you're like, does it really matter? Like, does any of this really matter? Not a negative way, not morbid, but like, like, there's bigger. Anyways,
I remember reading this, and I didn't know. That's why I was looking at you to fact check it. I read somewhere once, and I maybe this is wrong, but there's more stars in the
than grains of sand
in the galaxy.
Yeah, than grains of sand. Yeah. So you go to the beach and you pick up a handful of sand, and there's like, I don't know, maybe 50,000 grains of sand in your palm. There's more stars in the galaxy, or in the universe, not the galaxy, than there are specks of sand on Earth.
Are you
then
serious?
You think about how tiny and insignificant you are. So it's like, when I'm having a bad day because I hit 4 red lights in a row, it's like, does this really mean anything at the end of the day? Like,
yo, it's so crazy.
Crazy.
It's so crazy, man.
Sorry.
Oh no, I just think that's so, like, that's wild. And one of the things, like, on that note, we can pivot off this topic. Right? This is a cool conversation. But do you think there is intelligent life form somewhere else out there?
There's no way we're the only beings on this, like, in this galaxy. There's just absolutely no way. If we're literally just as small as we are in the galaxy, there's no way there's no other living beings. Let's be realistic here. I just feel it's very odd to believe that we are the only living beings in a planet, like, where there's trillions of planets. Does that make any sense? Like, to me, that makes no sense. We cannot be the only ones.
It never did to me. I always thought there's no way. But then also, I remember reading something recently, and it's like, do you realize how much had to happen for like intelligent life to like form and develop? And
right.
There is like a statistic. I guess I think there's a statistical, like, how many possible scenarios that had to happen to come to this, and it's something like infinitum, whatever, or something like that. But
infinitum.
Ad infinitum means like, I think that's Charlie, check that word. I don't know, might be making that one up.
Danielle's just a fucking spell check at this point.
Ad infinitum? I don't know.
Whatever. We're pretending it's a word today.
But yeah, but on the other hand, is if you think about it, like imagine of everything out there, everything's just empty. Like there's planets that are just empty, and we're the only one on here.
No, there's no way. There's gotta be life
I
forms.
just feel like
Ad infinitum.
hey.
AD.
Yeah, there's got to be other life forms.
There's
gotta be.
Like,
you know, just how we find new species. Like every year we find a new species in the ocean or like in random places, like or new insects. There's no way there's not other life forms on other planets. You know, like whether they're tree-like things or plant-like things or something, they're somewhere out there. We just don't have the technology to get there.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe it's not like Star Wars where it's, you know, like
right.
you know, things like that. But there's some. But then, I do believe there's Star Wars. You know, like when I do believe
there is wars in the stars.
No, but like you know, the movies they fucking not time travel, but
hyper,
that thing.
Hyperspeed.
Hyperspeed time. So
light speed.
Yeah, they could travel through whatever. I do believe there's like, you know, a fucking Boba Fett or something on the other on some other planet somewhere.
No, like, you know, it's so crazy.
And you can see the other planets from where your planet is.
And to be honest, like, you know, in a sense, like entertainment is a reflection of reality, right? So I
like
also
this pivoting back.
Yeah, like, and I feel like at the end of the day, all these stories, all these movies we've seen when it comes to space and everything, let's not really act like it's not coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, how was there this generic image for an alien? How was there like this generic, I don't know. Like I feel like obviously it can get super deep, but I just feel like there's a lot more. And generally speaking, I feel like it can get political when it comes to entertainment, but there's so much more that we don't know. And how they really like work together, and how there's just a lot, like how The Simpsons predicted a lot of our future creepy stuff.
I saw that recently. Like
a lot. Yeah. It's scary. Down to 2020, the COVID thing, the asteroid, the third, like World War III. A lot of creepy things they predicted that happened.
But mind you, what I said is, like I said earlier with fortune tellers, they've done 29 seasons. It's over like.
That's not that much.
It's
though.
like,
oh man,
I think they've done like 700 episodes or something. They've done. Think about how many scenes they've had in Simpsons where random things have happened, right? Like
no, I know, but then the things that
some
they
are
did
creepy.
were
some are
actually
creepy.
too
I agree.
accurate to what happened
like
in future.
You know, you see the picture of Donald Trump.
Did you see the one? Is that I saw this recently?
Like that's creepy, man.
He's like waving his hand coming down an escalator.
Yeah,
the exact same hand motion.
So, but time out. Let's say Donald Trump.
Okay. So it has been edited nowadays. So like retroactively, they'll see it, they'll edit it to make it seem like. People like us will edit it. Okay. Okay, so that's maybe what I saw because I saw one that was way.
Edited, which is fair, but the point remains the same. It's a bit creepy.
Yeah,
it happened,
for sure.
You know, and it's almost in a sense that like I feel like there's just generally speaking like entertainment's like media was created to distract you. You know, I feel like from a lot of things. So that's literally what it's there for. And like, it's a reflection of reality. That's how I keep it. So yeah, I genuinely believe there's definitely more to this world than we know it to be. Yeah.
Okay. I think we got deep into this one.
We did.
We know, right?
Which is cool. That was fun.
And I say this almost every episode now, which is crazy. This is the best part about the podcast is that I don't think you've had a conversation like this publicly, like in front of a camera or where people can see. So your fans are going to be able to watch this or listen to this and be like, holy crap, I had no idea all like X, Y, and Z. Or all these different things like, hey, the music and your kind of upbringing, people can see that. You know, you've talked about that. But that's like what we want to do is have conversations where people see a different side of you that they wouldn't normally see. So we appreciate that.
I mean, I appreciate this conversation. I'm enjoying it.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun to chat with too. Like, you have a lot of cool insights, which is
vibes.
Cool.
Thank you.
Oh, vibe. George, that's the last one. I'll leave it with you today. My generic final question we always ask.
Oh,
the one that we used to ask?
No, it's already at the end of the podcast. Wow.
Are we at the end already?
Yeah, basically, we're over an hour already.
Wow.
Holy shit. Yeah. What is next?
Oh, jeez.
She's like, wow. So my space,
generic
now it's the generic question.
Yes.
So this one's like, oh shit. They're asking me a generic question that I was probably prepared for.
Yeah, you know, primarily my show on the 25th happening at the Phoenix Concert Theater. That is the most recent next thing coming up. My album, I'm pretty much going to push that all year. More shows to come, and more of me. So just keep it locked in.
Love that. If people want to know more about you, what's happening, where can they go?
Yeah, of course. You can find me on all social media platforms, TOME _. I know it's Töme, not Töme, but TOME __ on everything. Listen to my music, TOME, on every streaming platform. And yeah, man, the vibes are right.
That was awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Anything else you got?
No, that's it.
Wow.
That was great.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
If you made it to the end of this, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Share this with your friends. Share it on social media. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, all those fun things. And that's it. Signing off, pal.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain. And I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high. Got alone with no one thing.